Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel, my friends. It's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS. What are we watching this Saturday morning? Robotech. Season 1, Episode 10, Blind Game. Now, we learned at the end of Episode 9, Miss Macross, in the outro bumper that we had, that apparently something happens to the SDF-1's radar array, making them blind. Can't wait to see it. We've had some really good episodes. Miss Macross was a little disjointed, but let's see if we can get back on track. Before that, my friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ringy-ding-ding that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted anytime we go live on YouTube with any Saturday morning React-TOONS, Robotech, any of our sci-fi offerings. You'll be made aware and can join us. And of course, if you would like any of those things early or in their full-length format, link to the Patreons in the description. But all that is then, my friends. This is now. And what is now? Robotech. Season 1, Episode 10, Blind Game. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. Uh-oh. Fanfare. Bring on the trumpets. I really like this show. I'm honestly, and maybe you all can help me out with this, I'm sure that there's some type of legal thing. I've heard a lot of people dissing Harmony Gold, so I'm assuming that this is what the problem is, but let me ask. I am shocked because of how cool and how kind of like a cult status Robotech has, that there hasn't been an attempt to remake this. Like really kind of fine tune it. Not necessarily like live action or anything like that, but just like another animated effort, or even like a sequel, or like I said, like a remake seems like it should have really happened, you know? I don't know, but something tells me that the rights to this are an interesting story. Oh, excuse me. Which is a shame. Incredible characters, really great story. Everything you've told me too, that the original story before it was kind of bastardized for North America was much better. I would really like somebody to do that, you know, because I think that this show deserves that. It deserves to have, you know, somebody step up and really kind of polish it up. Bring it into the new millennium without losing the, you know, the coolness.
Ordering one of his Cyclops scout recon ships to investigate.
I love those recon ships. They're really cool.
They were almost killed by Lieutenant Rick Hunter, who was flying a recon mission of his own at the time.
Almost.
They were wearing these little military costumes.
And looking at them just gave me this strange feeling I can't explain. You see, Sir Braun here believes that they just might be weapons.
They're not weapons.
Braun?
Enough of this babbling. You were given an assignment and you bungled it. Now get out.
Aye, sir.
I think Braun's the redhead.
I would suggest that we begin to act more aggressively, Commander.
I like nothing better than aggression. Exodor, I think we should discuss this matter further in my quarters.
I wonder if that's innuendo. Exodor, let's take this to my quarters. Bring the red wine.
However, Captain Global and his crew have managed to get a radio transmission through to the United Earth Defense Headquarters.
Ooh.
So we've finally gotten through to them, eh? All right, Lisa, you can punch up the audio for me now.
Hey, we're not dead.
Fortunately, the enemy forces have been more interested in following you and the SDF-1 than in attacking Earth. Continue to keep them at bay and not, I repeat, not to return to Earth in an attempt to buy more time for us and deplete their energy.
That seems... that wasn't a very coded message.
The enemy didn't jam our communication signal this time, Captain. They've always tried to block every one of our transmissions before.
They wanted to hear you. Scrub one. Come on, Ben. I think that's Ben.
That's one more.
Max just out there kicking ass.
All right, man, I think we should join up with the Skull team now.
I do like Vermilion. That's cool.
Hey, are you all right, Ben? It looks like you took a hit.
It's nothing, Rick. Just a scratch. I'll be okay.
I don't know, dude.
If the plane is not damaged too severely, Lieutenant, I would prefer that your group remain in position.
Sir, the damage is really nothing to worry about.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, Ben, you can't see it.
There's no atmosphere here in space, and the smallest damage could prove to be fatal. And while you might feel perfectly safe gambling with our lives when you're safe and sound at your control...
Wow, Rick.
Where do you come off giving me a lecture, Lieutenant Hunter?
That's enough, Commander Hayes. This time, Lieutenant Hunter just happens to be right.
Whoa! I have a huge problem with that.
Yes, you happen to be right, and as usual, it leaves a great deal to be desired. I'm planning something else.
That was ganging up on the commanding officer? Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. No, 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 no.
If I were to fire the
Cool
warning
shot.
shot right there, just high enough over the deck that it might happen to hit the radar tower.
Chiron, you know what you're doing, buddy. You're just batshit crazy, but you know what you're doing. I want to see what happens to all of this when the SDF-1 transforms now.
Do you have a date?
Well, maybe.
Been waiting long?
No, I've only been here a couple of minutes.
Off to the lingerie shop?
Is she any prettier than we are?
Huh?
What?
Message for Lieutenant Hunter.
Don't we have...
You have a telephone call, Lieutenant Hunter. All right, thank you.
Who's it from? I'm going to guess Min May.
You haven't had much time for me at all since you won that contest.
That's what I thought.
I really have to begin my rehearsal now. Goodbye.
Wait,
Rick, I mean, Min May's great, sure, and all that stuff. You just had 3 awesome ladies, if that's what you're looking for as a girlfriend. Competent, intelligent, beautiful, right there in front of you. Rick, Rick, Rick. Holy shit.
Set our barrier at max defense strength and make sure all shields are up.
So just me in that last shot, Global's hat look exceptionally large. Ooh, are we gonna get a transform?
Another bombardment approaching.
Oh, dear God. God, that type of firepower.
May proceed. You will now move the destroyer into firing position.
I like that he's drinking. He's got the martini glass. Now you may proceed.
I guess they're going to fire a warning shot in hope of terrifying us.
I don't know how you can get more terrified than what's currently happening. Ooh, that's right by the bridge. Dear God. Bridge crew safe? Boy, they have I mean, killing, like, background people, they have no problem doing that.
Captain, my scope shows huge fragments of the planet coming at us.
Oh, shit. It's like The Expanse. I'm currently watching The Expanse, so no spoilers. It's like debris fields and stuff that you never think of. Wow. I thought that was supposed to be...
Captain, I've just received our radar report. They say it will take at least 5 hours for us to pass through the shower of meteorite fragments.
Dear God.
Vanessa, let's look at it on the wide-range radar.
Yes, sir.
There isn't any.
The wide-range radar doesn't seem to be working, sir.
What?
It's a good idea. Blind him up.
It's all right. It turned out for the best because now our next step will be easier.
Yeah, it was a decent move.
Will they continue to fight without radar?
Well, the SDF-1 doesn't have radar. All the Veritech should still have their local stuff.
Has the encoding been completed yet?
Just one moment. Yes, sir, we're all done. We can transmit anytime.
Very well.
I really like that.
That's Lieutenant Hunter's Battloid, isn't it?
Oh my God, he's exposed to space.
I'm not about to put my men in that kind of jeopardy.
Oh my God.
Lisa, are you all right?
I'm fine. I
Lisa's my favorite character, straight up. Straight up my favorite character.
have to admit, Rick was right.
No, you don't have to admit anything. Not at all.
Hey, Kim, I'm receiving some kind of really weird transmission. Probably a telesignal from Earth Defense Headquarters with a coded message for Captain Global.
Oh, so are the Zentradi sending these? Oh, that's cool.
Well, I'm receiving a communication, but I'm not sure it's coming from Earth.
Well, Sammy, I suggest that we listen to it then.
Thanks for the warning, Sammy, but...
You cannot escape. If you wish to live, you must surrender at once.
It's a transmission from the aliens.
Sammy, I want you to send back the following. Get fucked. Come get us.
We'll just ignore their transmissions. A reply isn't warranted. Their threats are insulting.
I want you to send back the following. Do not sing it, Britai. Bring it.
Lisa, you're going on recon duty. I'll assign our VT cover squadron to escort you.
But Captain...
Lisa?
She's your second in command.
Ironic, isn't it, Commander?
Okay, so that wasn't Rick and the destroyed Battloid? And she just thought it was Rick?
So they've taken the bait. Now the move. Attack now!
We have to be... There's so many moving parts to this. Attack now! Oh, I like that shot, that animated shot there.
Ben, you stay in flight cover for the cat's eye. Max and I will take out the enemy pods.
Don't leave me behind, Lieutenant.
Leave Max. Max is cracked, so...
Move out. I'm giving you a direct order. Do you understand?
All right, Max, Ben, you follow me.
Oh, now we follow orders that Lisa gives. Lisa, you deserve better. You really do.
Hey, I think these characters are really playing for keeps, Lieutenant. Do we have a battle plan for this sort of situation?
Yeah, Max, kill.
I guess the worst is over.
Ooh, what's that? What's that?
Wait a minute, that's too big to be a planetary fragment. Huh?
Oh my god. Yep.
The enemy recon vessel has been hit by fragments.
All survivors are to be captured, but none are to be harmed.
Ooh.
This is Vermilion Leader. Please report your position. Commander Hayes.
Oh my god. Well, she's got a suit on, so that's good. Oh shit, they've already got her. Oh my god, her pilot is dead, or her co-pilot.
Enemy survivors have been captured. They are now being brought aboard on the lower deck.
Well, one of them is. Get in there, Rick.
Lieutenant Hunter, you mustn't worry about me. You'd better get out of here now.
Fuck that, Rick.
Let's try to hit them from below.
Yeah, let's get in here. Let's do this. Oh, we made it in. Ooh. I like how they all have the different Veritechs. Hell yeah, lay down cover and fire.
Lieutenant Hunter, it looks like I'm almost completely out of ammunition.
Oh no.
Lieutenant Hunter, do you realize you're disobeying my orders?
This is no time for protocol, Commander. Watch out.
Cool. That was cool.
Are attempting to rescue the captives.
Your Excellency, wait for me!
Oh, Bretai's going in.
That's it for my ammo, Lieutenant.
You, sir.
All right, I'll get Commander Hayes and we'll make a break for it.
Get him, Ben.
Run, fast!
Oh, it's a coloring problem. That was Max.
Hey, Ben, fire your missiles at 12 o'clock. What for? Never mind what for.
Just blast a hole. He's gonna take him into space. Max is baller. See if you can breathe in space, brother.
Lieutenant, what do we do now?
Try to burn through the airlock with your lasers, but you'll have to do it quickly. They'll return any second.
You can go through the hole. Is there a reason why we can't go through the hole? Look at Bretai. Okay, so they can survive in vacuum. Wow.
Are overheating. All right, you and Ben change places. See if that'll help.
Or are they trying to go deeper into the ship? This is crazy. No shit!
Helpless prisoners, they witness the awesome power and destructive capability of their alien adversaries.
Wow.
For First Contact, the next thrilling episode of Robotech.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, I like that quite a bit, everybody. Holy smokes, that was a good one. All right, everybody, we just got done watching Robotech Season 1, Episode 10, Blind Game, and it was really good. We're back on track and we're cooking with gas, friends. The only thing left to do now is, of course, to talk about it. All right, my friends, we just got done watching Robotech Season 1, Episode 10, Blind Game. Okay, this one was really good. Really, really good episode. And again, I think this was, we talked about at the end of Miss Macross, they had to get Rick away from Min May. You know, make it as believable as they could to have like that kind of split between the two of them to begin what I'm assuming is going to be some type of relationship with Lisa, because Lisa's seeing it on her side too. You know, they're making a big point of making, you know, Lisa thought that she saw Rick. I'm assuming that that dead Veritech pilot, she thought it was Rick at first. You know, and that affected her deeply. I mean, she got distracted by it and she was, you know, had his kind of narration echoing in her head. But boy, oh boy, you know, Vermilion Squad coming in and you have, you know, Ben Dixon and Max Sterling just balling out with Rick to keep her protected when they sent out the cat's eye after the radar went down. Really cool sequence of events and storyboarding there, you know, like, okay, we're going to give them a warning shot, show them our might, and then kind of parlay for surrender. And it was Chiron who had, you know, let's take their radar out, sat there with the glass, the drink. Chiron's a really cool character. I mean, he's, like I said, he's nuts. He doesn't follow the rules. He'd be an absolute nightmare to, you know, have to command. But as an antagonist, he's great because you're not sure what he's going to do, and you're not sure how effective it's going to be, because sometimes, like today, very effective, comes up with great plans like the gravity mines and Bye Bye Mars, you know, but it's just kind of like his aggression sometimes goes over to the point where he gets, you know, and to be quite fair for Chiron, he had Rick. He had Rick dead bang and got recalled by that beam that in a couple episodes back, that when he was recalled and pulled back by Bretai, he had him because Rick said, you know, one more hit and I'm gone. You know, arm gone off his Veritech, and Chiron got taken. And I love the fact that Chiron is a frontline leader. Awesome stuff. So anyway, Chiron's great. But that bled into the storyboard element of having to send out a cat's eye to be able to get like a secondary radar blanket going up. I question sending Lisa out because she's second in command of the entire, you know, fleet or you know, force. But again, she's very experienced, and she's a very, in fact, and I've said this before, and I think it's good to restate this, Lisa is our most capable officer. She is our most capable person in a position of command. Came up with the Daedalus attack, the punch with the aircraft carrier using the pinpoint reflex stuff to protect it when it punched into the Zentradi ship. Amazing stuff. That was a cool ass move. Also the one that while she was on site at the Martian base was able to go down and scuttle it at the same time to blow up the mines. I mean, this is an incredible, you know, valor that she is showing here. Not to mention a really good tactical mind on the case of Lisa. To me, Lisa is the most valuable person that you have that's been displayed so far. Putting her in harm's way would not be an option for me, but it's the story element. We have to have our main characters doing things like this. This has to be, you know, we can't add somebody new in. I understand why they're doing it. We're moving on. But having her out there and putting her in danger again puts her and Rick in kind of like that emotionally charged proximity. They start to have a banter that's not, you know, derogatory. You know, you can put me down if you're, you know, done admiring me or whatever. And he's like, oh shit, yeah, okay. Which I thought was funny and cute. That was neat. I mean, absolutely, really, really, really digging what Ben Dixon and Max Sterling bring both to the show and to Rick. Rick is a completely different well, he's not completely different. When he's out and piloting and stuff, he seems to be a way more mature character than he was prior to their arrival. You know, I mean, he was pissed. And again, I don't like the fact that it was at Lisa's expense that we had this exchange, because Lisa is a character that does not deserve that. She is incredibly competent. She should not be challenged in any way. Her leadership should not be questioned in any way. And then to have Roy step in and gang up, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to get into it. I despise that moment. That was ridiculous. You know, Lisa is incredibly capable, and we'll leave it there. Moving past that moment, though, you know, when we have Lisa or we have Max and all of those people now under Rick's, you know, command, he feels responsible for them. And he looked over and he saw Ben's Veritech leaking fuel. And that was a really kind of impassioned plea, probably one of the most that we've heard from Rick. Rick is like, you know, listen, I'm not going to sit here and watch one of my people die because, you know, like we're in space, for Christ's sake. You know, if something goes wrong, that's it. We're all dead. So yeah, I'm bringing him back. Now, obviously it would have been better for him to say, hey, Max, take Ben back. I'll stay out here. You know, we're not sending the whole squad back, but, you know, something to that, some compromise or something. But it was good. It was a really cool use of, hey, you know, Rick's a different person now. Rick's got concerns beyond his relationship with Minmay and his own flight suit. You know, Rick was very self-centered when we started all of this. You know, he wanted to, he always questioning why Roy left, and, you know, how anything that affected Rick was the only topics of conversation that he brought up. With this, though, is one of the first times we've seen him really express, he really expressed like, not necessarily an empathy, but a kinship, you know, something that extended beyond himself, you know. He was invested in Ben and Ben's safety, and that's something that, you know, was an extreme example of not being selfish. But again, it's an example, and we haven't had many of those for Rick. And so having Rick basically come in and say those things now and start to kind of grow in front of our eyes is a really great touch. Then sending everybody into the Zentradi craft to free Lisa. A couple storyboard points in there that I'm sure could have been fixed with editing, but again, you know, Breetai actually getting involved, which, again, you know, I have to keep in my mind that this is a cartoon convention, and of course, the age of the audience. Who, I mean, as a kid, I think to myself as a kid, you saw, I was excited as shit when Breetai got, you know, actively in the same physical space as Rick and everybody, and like fighting them. That was really cool. Of course, Breetai wouldn't go down there himself. He'd send in his Marines or, you know, whatever type of like, you know, guard they have inside of his ship. But, you know, him going down there himself was like our first taste of like, oh, here's the bad guy, you know, coming to fight our heroes. And this is a good point for me to say too. I don't consider the Zentradi evil at all. I think that I think there's a lot of like misconceptions going on here, misrepresentations by both sides, the Zentradi and the Micronians. Again, you don't have a show if there's diplomacy wins the day. But I think a lot of this could have been figured out if they had sat down and talked about it. You know what I mean? I don't see the Zentradi as evil. They haven't like targeted civilians. You know, they haven't. Of course, when they attacked Macross, they were trying to get the ship, and I don't necessarily think that there was collateral damage, of course, but I think there's more collateral damage by the STF-1, you know, space folding. But that's a whole other thing. So, anywho, I think the Zentradi are an incredibly interesting group. And any more that we get on them is really, really good. And each of these examples, we continue to see each of these examples where they're being, for lack of a better term, humanized. You know, Breetai's pissed that Chiron did what he did. Breetai, but then he immediately realizes, well, Exodor's more pissed, but then, you know, he realizes that it works out. You know, they're blind. That's a good thing. And when they're on his ship, they're on their ship. They're trying to get the captive. I mean, Breetai snaps. I mean, he is ready to go, grabbing stuff, jumping down off catwalks. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. But again, it doesn't portray Breetai as evil. They're on his ship. And he didn't say kill, he said capture, you know, to learn from. So there are a lot of elements of the Zentradi that are to be admired, really. The way they're conducting themselves in all of this, you know, Chiron's a loose cannon, but, you know, Breetai hasn't shown himself to be anything more than the opposing military leader, not the enemy leader, the opposing military leader. Let me put it to you like this, and I have absolutely no clue about the rest of the show, none whatsoever. If there was like a third party that were to come in, you know, like if we were to add like a third group that was bent on like solar system oblivion, I could actually see, you know, in that type of scenario where it's like, oh my God, there's a powerful force, the Zentradi and the Micronians, the humans, working together. I could see like Global and Breetai being able to reach some type of accord, you know? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, nor do I think is diplomacy out of the realm of possibility, because I don't think they've gone so far and there's been so many atrocities committed that you couldn't work this out. You know what I mean? I mean, there's been a lot of death on both sides. That's war. But wars have to end somehow. And I don't think it ends. I think this could realistically end two ways, like war always does. Utter destruction and conquering, you know, surrender, or some type of ceasefire, you know? And I think that that in and of itself always brings me back to the one thing I think about when I watch this show. This was specifically geared for younger North American audiences. And the idea that you're throwing complex military political themes in here, like possibilities of like, you know, maybe there aren't bad. We're not going to show the Zentradi as evil. They look like us, you know. If you took a Zentradi and shrunk the Zentradi down and put it on the SDF-1 with Ben and Max, I mean, hell, Max's hair's blue, you know, I mean, they fit right in. You know, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell. And I think that that is the beauty of this show, is that they are telling us, you know, these aren't like lizard people, or, you know, like I shouldn't, you know, just this non-human aliens or the other, or nope, they look like us, which is awesome. So many great themes, so many heavy themes, so much weight being given to a younger audience and saying, learn. And I love that. All right, my friends, if you stuck with me this far, do me a favor, hit the like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted next time we go live on YouTube with any Saturday morning React-TOONS, Robotech, any and everything. You'll be made aware, my friend. And of course, if you'd like any of that early or in a full-length format, link to the Patreon is in the description. But all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye. But where should we say goodbye from? Not a great place. I think we say goodbye with Ben and Max and Lisa and Rick, as we too are now captives of the Zentradi. What do they have in store for us? We'll see, my friends. We'll see. Until next time, everybody, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.